Hey.
No,
So you
am I talking where it is? I've noticed it for a while.
It's fine, it's fine.
Is it fine? Oh, okay, it's a bit far.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Reload. We are joined by the reoccurring member. Classic Manny. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Sharon.
Oh, happy New Year, guys! 2020, new decade, new year, new blessings. Let's get it. So,
Amen.
how have you been?
I've been good. I've been blessed.
Thank you for joining us again.
Thank you for having me.
Let's get right into it. It's been a bit of a slow month, I feel. So we're just going to discuss some of the most relevant albums of, I guess, January so far. So I think we should start off with... It's been a bit of a slow month, I feel. So we're just going to discuss some of the most relevant albums of, I guess, January so far. So I think we should start off with our one and only Stormzy, Heavy is the Head. Hadley, kick us off. What do you think about the album?
So I love Stormzy, like everyone loves Stormzy, but do I love his music? It's just, you know what, this album, yeah.
Wow.
When I said,
He's even laughing.
sorry,
Dear God.
basically, I said in the group chat, yeah, that I feel like he's rapping like a white boy on this album. And when I said that, I feel like I meant that it's very watered down. Do you get what I'm saying?
Watered down from what?
He's not physically rapping like a white boy would, like H, for example. But he's rapping for a different market. Does that make sense? And it shows.
But I feel like Stormzy is never, as much as Stormzy does he's for black people, his audience and his money maker has never been our audience.
I think when he was on SoundCloud, it definitely was.
But I'm talking about Stormzy in the last 2 years.
No, I think GSAP was a nice transition.
Okay, yeah, GSAP was, GSAP was, but I'm talking about his singles that have come out, like, you know, when you had Shut Up and stuff, it was very, like, do you get what I'm saying?
I think, as what Hadley said, there's like, because we saw Stormzy clashing with Wiley and we saw a better Stormzy than the
so
album
everyone
Stormzy.
was like, why couldn't that Stormzy come out?
I agree.
It's the fact that Stormzy can do it, but again, it has worked for him because he isn't he's a pretty, is it fair to say he's an international star or he's getting there? He's becoming an international star.
He's been selling out shows all over.
He's there.
He's obviously had his run in America and stuff. So but like you said, when it comes to Stormzy, I love Stormzy as a person, but as an artist, he's not my go-to artist.
Oh God, definitely not.
There were a few songs on there that were good. There were a few gems on the album.
Which ones?
1 second was good. I love 1 second with her.
I can't remember anything.
Go back.
I love Pop
Tiana
Boy.
Major 9 actually is good.
Oh,
Is it Rainfall?
Yeah, she's gonna have a good 2020. She's sick.
That was good. I think it was a good album for what it was worth. Like I feel like it's quite
It's worth.
no shame.
You downloaded it, bro.
But I feel like it had a bit of everything, you know. But as you guys said, I think the disappointed and still disappointed. I like the second one, by the way. I think that really showed the true Stormzy. I feel like this album was more of like a bit of pop, a bit of rap, a bit of grime. Was grime there? I don't know if grime was there, but you know, maybe it's just a little bit, you know. So there's a bit of everything, and I feel like it was a good crossover for thingy.
Shabil, you're the connoisseur, so was there grime?
Yeah, that's
yeah, it
true,
was
you
good. There was grime in it, but I think the album was tired.
down in
I
it?
think it was tired, man. Like it was tired. Like not
Not
something I listen
tired.
to. It's not someone I listen to. It's not like man. It's not like there. No.
It's not a bad. Okay, I want to put it out there. It's not a bad album. It's not for our market.
It is a bad album.
No, it's not.
Oh, Lord.
It is a bad
Poor.
album.
Actually,
I'm being honest.
ooh.
For me, it is a
Let's
bad
rate it out
album.
of 10 then. Go
Okay.
on.
Oh, God.
10. Oof.
Yeah. Tick tock, tick tock.
5.
Oof.
And that's me being generous.
Lord, go on.
I'm sorry.
Oh, for me, in terms of like the artwork, the
album, bro.
I'm talking about the whole package altogether. Like, so obviously the artwork, the track list, all that kind of stuff. I would give it a good 7.5.
No, yeah, that's too high now.
7.5. No, I enjoy the album. I think it has some replay value, you know. So I think.
Are you playing the same album?
Maybe because I'm not like a grime.
When's the last time
grime
you listened to
stan.
it? What's the last time you listened to it?
Well, songs on the album is I've got like 1 second. I've got
Okay.
Yeah, you just I've got those ones like in my Oh, you know what? I hate that Burna Boy section was the shortest part, and like we'll just echo like, oh, what in the whiskey is going on here? What in the one down? Buck it down, one down, buck it. What's that? No, it was that really upset me. But for what it's worth, again, that's what you're saying. For what it was worth, 7.5.
I'm gonna give it for artistry and for him breaking the mold. I'll give him a 6.
Where did he break the mold?
No, I'm just saying the reason I say break the mold is because Stormzy has made a point to not fit into one box.
I agree.
So he always
He's not
wants
the only person in the UK to do that, though.
But he's the only person to do it somewhat well.
Is he?
Go on,
For
Amy.
UK rap?
I can't think of a UK rap artist that is as versatile as Stormzy.
There's many.
Versatile,
There's
many.
But Dave is not
Many.
as versatile. I'm talking about versatile in terms of genres he's dipping into and stuff.
Many.
Dave.
That is other people that's been into
In one album?
Yeah.
Boy, we have to discuss that.
Listen to Kano's album.
Oh,
Yeah,
dear.
but Kano, is Kano not
Kano's
grime?
a different, but it's a different league though.
Kano's album wasn't grime though. That's the thing.
Okay. Well, for me, a
That's the
6. It has no replay value for me, so I wouldn't listen to it again. But for what it is, and the time I did listen to it, 6.
4 and that's it.
Yeah.
Done.
Blood of Jesus.
I'm finished.
Swiftly moving on. Swiftly moving on. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing it.
That's it.
Okay. Another album that came out, which has had a lot of, I guess, social media coverage, is Roddy Ricch's album.
That's an album.
His album, Excuse Me for Being Antisocial. Who wants to start? Kick it off. Shabil, your thoughts?
Me
on
personally, I
Roddy
didn't
Ricch?
listen to him as much, but when I heard the album, I think he really done really well on it. And like he got, you don't even need to listen to him. Like it's something different, man. It was really good. I liked it myself.
I've not stopped listening to the album since it came out, and I'm like in those types of rappers where it's like Roddy Ricch, Little Baby, a debate. Like I don't listen to those types of rappers on a regular basis. So when I listened to this album, I was surprised that I was played it. And you know, sometimes you listen to albums and there's a few songs and you skip a few songs, and the only song I skip on that album is the interlude. Like you know, it's like. You know the little bit where the person, that's the only part. Yeah. Or whatever you call it, but I don't skip any songs off the album. I think that is such a solid, that's his debut album, right?
I think so,
For his debut album, it's such a solid, and it's kind of like, because I think when we hear these names like Roddy Ricch, like we automatically put them into like this mumble rap genre type of thing.
My baby see me.
Wow.
But you know what I mean? Like the auto-tune,
yeah, every
like
auto-tune
the Percocet rap. Like, do you get what I'm saying?
Percocet.
I wouldn't put Roddy Ricch in the same category.
I'm not saying he's that, but I'm just saying the
Similar.
collabs and stuff, you kind of automatically have your mindset.
Assumptions, yeah.
Like, that's the type of rapper he is.
Fair, okay.
So this album really allowed us to really listen to him and explore him and just be like, okay, he's actually an artist. He's not just like a mumble rap sensation or whatever is going on right now. I know, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it is.
But no, that is probably. Listen, I've literally not stopped listening to it since like it's come out. Like it's a very solid album. The collabs made sense. The transitions were perfect.
Amazing.
Like I can't say enough good things about the album. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, so me?
Is you?
So I have not played the album yet, but all I know is Hotbox, and I know from obviously this from like
What did you say?
it's a Hotbox, Hot Block, whatever, whatever the fuck it's called. What's it called again? The box, whatever. I'm sorry, it's Sunday. I'm tired. However, yeah, but I'm happy that did Finn go number one, Selena Gomez go number one, or did he go number one for the album?
For the singles. Justin Bieber went number one. But
he didn't.
Sorry. For the singles, he beat Justin Bieber number one. Yeah. But for Selena Gomez, the album, that trifling, whatever, in the cases, that no one listens to her music, went number one.
Except for the bots.
Because she was, oh Lord, the
Her
bots.
numbers were awful though, you know.
Yeah, but she was begging for the number ones, but I wish she got number one. Listen.
We'll get into it after.
I support anything black, so I'm happy that he's doing well, that's getting well received. So yeah, that's what I can say. On Hadley.
Do you know, when I first heard it, I'm actually so angry that I didn't give it attention when it first came out because I was not expecting it to be that good. Do you know what I'm saying? And I just thought after...
To be fair, that's the same with me because when everyone was talking about the box and stuff, I hadn't listened to the album yet. So people kept saying, oh my God, the box is amazing. And I kept thinking, you know, sometimes Twitter and these music people do this thing where they really hype up something and in your head you're thinking, it's not that good. So I didn't really give it a chance. I kind of blocked it out. But like you said, like when I finally listened to it, I've not stopped.
since. And you know what? The most satisfying thing is, you know, the box is not even like
The
a
best
single.
song.
It's not even a single.
Wow.
No, it's not a single, and it still hit the #1 as well.
Wow, that's good.
It hasn't even got a video yet. Anything like
It's
that.
just audio, yeah.
Still doing
Just the
well.
lyric video. I've seen the lyric video.
Yeah, I think the fact that the album's success has been so organic has been the best thing.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's getting these people pressed.
Press.
Listen, these labels and these pop, you know, these manufactured artists
Yes.
like Selena Gomez, Justin
Industry
Bieber,
plants.
they are so motherfucking pressed
Yes.
that someone who is black and organic and doesn't copy and is not
Yeah.
part of them and hasn't begged off them or anything like that is organically getting. And every single he'll be tweeting, "Oh, go stream Justin Bieber's album."
Oh yeah, that's it.
fam, and I'm
And
just
he's
thinking,
still
how much
getting-
are their managers paying you to tweet that? Like,
No, the thing
why are you
is,
doing
but
that?
he's doing it to be sarcastic.
No,
Yeah.
of course. Of
Yeah,
course.
but it's just funny because it's like he is so, and the fact that he's remained so unbothered is just beautiful.
Because the passion that's
Best
leading
thing.
him.
Yeah.
It's a passion, so
The
that's
best
good.
thing.
I'm proud of him.
I'm all here for it.
What do you rate? What do you rate his album out of 10?
I rate 8. I'll give it 8.
I feel like if I say this, you guys will shout at me, but I kind of want to rate it a 9.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I
I think
give
it's
it.
a solid
Fair enough.
album.
It is. It is.
What about
enough.
you?
I'll give it a 9 as well, actually, because I just don't really have
A bad thing to
flaw.
say
Yeah.
I just
about
can't
it.
give it a 10 because it
It's
came
not-
out so recently, innit?
Yeah, it has to
It's one
stand
of
the
the best
test of
albums to
time.
come out for the last couple of months, for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Classic Money.
Money.
I haven't played
You
it,
guys
so
will
we
listen
can
to
give
it,
it a
so I'm
rating.
just giving it
So rate the box out of 10.
Or the hot box. Hot box or the box, whatever.
which
Which I'm like, I'll give it the box a good 8 because I love how I feel in the morning. Now I play before I go to work.
That's all you know. The eat
Listen.
Can we move on to UK albums?
Go on.
So we done?
Let's do it.
So Dig That released his album. This is his debut album as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 Mile. Let me get that
Yeah,
name
yeah.
correct. 8 Mile.
Yeah.
Yes. Kick us off.
That's some water.
What do you think?
Did you guys see the video he released on the Thursday before the album?
I've not seen
Uh,
any promo or anything. I've literally just listened
So
to...
because it's 8 Mile, you know 8 Mile the movie.
Yeah.
They done a like with
Let me do something for you.
because he again H.
Yeah.
So with him, because they got a song together, they made it like 8 Mile where they just freestyling each other like
Oh,
it's
is
like
it?
a battle rap.
I'm
So
gonna
it
watch
was
it.
sick. Yeah, the video was sick and
Because I saw like the release party and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I didn't even know an album was coming. Like, you know, sometimes you hear, oh, so-and-so may have an album. I didn't hear anything. I didn't even know he was still active. Well, not
the
active.
thing is, remember he took a little break. He was
Yeah,
out for
he
a
was
bit, and then he
quiet,
just
so
now
just
started
randomly.
just releasing songs. And like with the album itself, he had loads of back to backs in the album with like loads of artists. Like I like the song
Yeah,
with
yeah, it's got
Heady
quite a lot
One,
of
love
artists,
K
yeah.
Trap.
He has an American artist on there. I've not heard of them before, but it did work quite well.
Yeah, he worked with what
Yeah.
was that, and D Block crew with that song as well.
Oh, the Dior one.
Yeah,
That's been out for
Dior
a while.
one.
though,
Yeah, heard that song. But yeah, I mean, it was good. Something like we haven't seen them do albums or tapes.
Yeah.
So
It's true, we've only had singles.
yeah, so I'm trying to say, so like people thought it won't work out.
A lot of people thought he was a one-hit wonder.
Yeah, but he's going well, man. Honestly.
Yeah,
It was
no,
good.
I
It good.
was. I mean, I wasn't shocked that it was good. I've always really liked Dig That. I've always seen. I don't want to say seen his potential, like, but you know what I mean. Like I've always. But I've always seen that he was a good artist. He wasn't just like he had like a random song and it blew and then that was it. I've always felt like he was talented. So the album didn't shock me.
Yeah.
I think one thing artists do a lot. UK artists do a lot, especially like the newer ones, like the like kind of like drill type rappers.
Yeah.
They do a lot of features.
Yeah.
So as much as the features are really, really good, it's
Yeah.
almost like they're scared to do an album of just
Just them,
themselves
yeah.
rapping. So I
That's
kind of
true.
want to
That's
see
true.
next time UK artists from that like field or that I guess generation.
Less features.
Less features and just
Yeah.
more artistry like from themselves.
Yeah.
And I think that I know it's kind of going back, but that's why I was saying like going back to Stormzy, I can respect what he does because he's not afraid to do things by himself,
yeah.
push the boundaries, try different
Experiment
genres,
as well.
That's
try
true,
different
that's true.
sounds, and that's one thing like the new kids aren't doing. Like
Yeah.
they're not experimenting. They're just they're staying in their comfort lane. But it's
even
not
just
bad.
drill, UK rap across the board.
UK
to
rap
be
across the
honest.
board, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for me, all I can say is sorry to this man, 'cause I don't even know who he is. I don't know who he is. That's all I can say. So you might have to skip me for this one, but kudos
my
to you,
God.
sir. Next.
Classic Manny, you know.
Oh,
Classic Manny.
Manny.
Woo.
Manny, what's the name of that Air Force song?
Ham?
Air Force.
You must have
What
heard
Air
it,
Force?
how does it go again?
And it's a remix of like.
Remix with Kept on Calling, and everyone's
I
getting
don't listen to all
on.
those people, so I wouldn't even.
Sorry. It got crease in the middle.
That sounds so rude.
Yeah.
He's being honest, isn't he?
Listen, I
He
can't
doesn't
come and
know,
lie, you know.
Selena Gomez.
Oh, no, I used to love her music. I can't come lie to you. Back in the Disney, you know,
So you are the
the
one
naturally
getting-
song, you know.
Yeah.
Not the new one, not that rare trashosity. That one is just
Even the name
trash.
of the album.
That rare.
Who knew
It's
it?
rare to hear her sing properly, but let's keep on going.
Handy.
But how do you dig that 8 Mile album? What do you think?
I need to listen to it again. To be honest,
Yeah.
for it to sink in. Because when I played it yesterday, I think it's probably because I had a lot on. It was like background noise, not
I can
because
see
of the quality of the
yeah.
album.
I get what you mean,
Because
yeah.
I wasn't.
But I can see it being background. Music,
because
though.
comparatively, when I played Roger Rich for the first time, it made me stop in my tracks from what I was doing. So,
Yeah, and be like, oh, raw.
yeah, so I need to listen to it again. But I liked the Heady collab. That was good.
I mean, Heady can't really do
PCX.
wrong when he's on a collab. So, like, I feel like if you have Heady one on the collab, it's
I
always
love it on
good.
Audacity as well. He did well.
Do you know what? When I don't have time to listen to a whole album, it's really bad. I cherry pick. So if I see features with big names, I'll just.
I do that as well. I do that as
Or
well.
I'll just-
yeah.
That's
I'll go
bad.
back.
I can't do that.
I do that as well.
But
I do
just
that as well.
in
Fair.
certain situations.
You go to their favorite rapper that's there or what
I have to
artist,
listen
and you
to
just
that.
go to
I
their
have to-
feature,
Yeah.
and then yeah,
No,
that's
for
what you
real.
I
do.
bet you lot listen to albums in the shuffle for the first time.
I do. Not on the first time.
Not first
But I
time.
feel like for example, the Over It album, when I came in the last time, I hated it, but I played it on shuffle and I love it now. So yeah, like it
On
takes
shuffle.
time to let
I'm
it start
really
marinate.
annoyed that you like it, you know. 'Cause
No, but no, it took like one song at a
Before
time.
we get on to another album, let's give this man a
Sorry.
chance.
Sorry, I dig that.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm glad that it's resonating with people. I've seen a lot of good stuff about him on socials. I just think everyone's taking it a bit too far with this whole he's like one of the best to come out of the UK. Let's give it some time.
Not yet, not yet.
Don't
No.
know who he
Not
is.
yet, but he has potential if he taps into it.
Everyone has potential.
Not everyone.
No, I'm just, you know what I'm saying when I say that? Like, yeah, but let's wait till he, concretely deserves that title. Do you get
I
what
hear
I'm
that.
saying?
What would you rate out of 10 then? Based on
I'd say 5, only because again I need to listen to it again, and this is like he's not really like a go-to of mine. But yeah, I'll give him a chance.
I'm gonna give it a 6 because it was a good album, especially for his first album. Just my only flaws, I guess, was too many collabs and just trying be a bit more experimental. Like an example of an artist that tried to be experimental was Heady One on his last mixtape.
100%.
Like he's an artist where you would automatically think he only has one style, one flow, whatever. But he shows you that you can still have those flows and that style and come from that school of, I guess, drill or whatever, but still be experimental. So I feel like, if Dig That try to push the boundaries a bit with this album, I'd give it, rated higher. But for what it is, a 6.
I'll give it a 7.
7.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's good.
So you guys know the drill. This is the 60-second meltdown, and we'll be kicking it off with Donald Trump and World War III. We each have 15 seconds to get our points across. Hadley, you start. Go.
Boy, all I can say is if the UK decides to get involved and reintroduce conscription, I'll be hiding in my mother's basement. because I'm telling you, I'm not good for this life. Please. Sorry.
All I can say is I'm too handsome to be joining the war like that, So, but what I'll say is, when it comes to Black Twitter, we don't take anything seriously. All I was seeing was memes. People just, oh my god, it was funny, but it's serious. Then I just pray, as you say, don't get involved because, who's got time for that? I beg, I don't have time.
Okay, as serious as the matter is, you kind of have, do you guys not like a man that's on smoke? Because Donald Trump's on smoke. He just be tweeting, he doesn't give a shit. He said, yep, we are in this place, we are doing X, Y, Z. He's like, we have the biggest, baddest waps. Wow. That's what we do.
First of all, we don't like men.
Huh?
We don't like men.
Wow.
It was for them. The viewer.
Oh, the babes.
The things Donald Trump was saying online, definitely listens to drill because the stuff he was saying on the tweets, wow. He was saying stuff. It was so interesting. I was just reading these tweets.
So, Beyonce has recently launched her Ivy Park Times Adidas collection, but I think what's caught people's eyes is her potential new body. So what's everyone's thoughts? Shabil. Yes.
That was well said.
That was definitely BBO. I'm sorry guys, she definitely done BBO and the way the body shaped, wow. I don't know Beyonce, man, what's going on there, mate. But yeah.
Do you know what? So let's talk about the collection first. I just can't help but think about Sainsbury's. Like, it is literally a Sainsbury's outfit, but they are cute. I probably will be buying a few pieces, but she's definitely got something done to her bum. Like, it's not twins. People need to stop that narrative.
When it comes to her collections, it doesn't really like interest me. But when it comes to the body, though, people are saying, "Oh, it's always been there. It's gone up and it's gone down." But only she and her husband knows. Though. I don't know.
Boy, the collection was crap. First of all, it wasn't great. And in regards to her new body, listen, I think we all know a BBR bum when you see one, and it's okay. Like, it's cool. We still love Beyonce, but let's be honest. On a serious note, it's actually like draining like the passion like and the authenticity of like music in general, and it's quite annoying to see as well. I think it's just because these people just can't stand to see
All I can say is like X. They're just shameless. Needs to find shame in the nearest exit. You know, Justin Bieber, please. That song is just annoying. When it comes to Gomez, she lost her talents 3 years ago. Let her just go. Bye.
I think the whole thing was incredibly shameless. Like, it's just having an ounce of shame. Like, why would you like do a whole campaign and beg people? You're meant to be mega stars, and this young black boy is coming to see you.
I just think they're all overdoing it, and they all need to relax. Like, just let the guy win. They don't want him to win, so
Look at the bass.
Chill.
Look at the bass. Ugh.
Today in our hot topics, we will be discussing Meghan and Harry's what has been dubbed Megxit. So just a quick backstory. Obviously, Meghan has been receiving a lot of, I guess, hate from the British press, just a lot of, you know, headache from her family, etc. So her and Harry have made a decision to step down from their royal duties and I guess flee to Canada, really. But yeah, I guess she can do no right. So this has also caused some backlash. So I think this kind of kicks off the debate of racism. So this has highlighted the debate about racism in the British media and I guess in the British public in general. I guess the question I want to ask you guys, should Meghan kind of, I guess, firm it because she knew what she was marrying into? She knew she was marrying into the royal family. Did she come into the royal family almost trying to change too much? Or is she within her right to want to live her life how she wants to and ultimately has led to her leaving?
What did she try and change though?
Well, I think the argument, which I can kind of see, I don't think, but she has been very. So compared to Kate, who has basically she entered the royal family and she was just quiet. She popped her babies and that was that. Like she didn't say much.
You mean Kate, who held herself back a year so she could be in the same year as Prince William to marry him?
You know?
No, let's not even get on to Kate because Kate's family, her mum, oh my god, like. They prepared her whole life to marry a prince. 100%. It was nuts.
Shameless.
But obviously, you know.
She's in middle class herself as well. She's not the cream of the crop either. That's another conversation.
But I think a lot of people's arguments was that Meghan came in, already she was a divorcee, already she was American, and already she's black. Those are the three factors. As much as the British public won't admit her blackness has got anything to do with it, is the fact that she's black, half black. And it's not just any black. She has a black mum who wears dreads. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's stuff like that. Because if she had a white mum and the dad was kind of, you know, I think it could have been put up with a little bit more. But I think the fact that her mum is black, there's dreadlocks, black woman, and you know they're all very classy, and her white side of the family not so much. I think it's kind of rubbing people up the wrong way because it's a bit confusing to people to see that. I guess back to the point is I guess a lot of people have pointed out, you know, she's always coming and she's trying to, you know, make changes. You know, I guess she's always been a humanitarian, so I think she's brought that lifestyle into the royal family where people have argued it's not her place to do so.
But it's nothing different from what a lot of them have done.
Especially Diana.
Yeah.
Diana.
But
that was controversial at the time as well, to be fair.
It was,
but she's held though. And not even just because she's died, like the general public were always here for her.
Listen,
that's
my queen right there.
I feel like because obviously we're only looking at back from us looking back and what our parents are telling us about Diana, but at the time I don't think the British media, they were hacking into her phone, they were doing
forget the media. I'm saying
No,
this is a personal,
public.
The public.
Yeah.
That's the reason why the institution went so hard on her, because no matter what she did, the public was always on her side.
Yeah.
Right.
Always.
Right.
She even said it herself. They're always confused about why she still gets love, even when they were divorced as well. Her and Charles.
Yeah.
She was still revered. You get what I'm saying?
People's princess.
Yeah. Always. So I like the fact that Harry is kind of taken after his mum in that sense. You know, they've gone a step further as well. They're going to denounce their titles and pay the taxpayers' money back
Yeah,
for
yeah,
their
yeah.
house.
Yeah.
I'm-
Because they're going
I'm-
to keep the house, so
Yeah,
yeah.
listen, I'm here for it, and I think people just need to leave them alone, let them do what they're doing. Harry's realised he's never going to be king. What does it matter if he's prince or not? Like, who cares?
And he's always been a rebel, and
The guy has pictures on the internet of when he was doing like strip poker when he was in
Las Vegas, isn't it?
Yeah, like
Remember we had the Nazi thing as well. Remember?
fam,
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
That was really bad. That was really bad. Man.
I mean, the word on the street is he's not even a royal himself, so.
Because apparently, exactly, he's not even Charles's baby, so.
What, so
Smart.
But no, like I think for me it's like it's easy to say, well, you know, she knew what she was getting into, blah 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 blah. But if you ask the average British person, why do you not like Meghan? They will just give a list of reasons. There won't be anything that they can say, oh, because she's done X, Y, Z. Oh, there's just something about her. There's something about her is because she's black.
Disgusting.
And they can't admit that, and they can't say it, and it's just, you know, I think they've made the right decision. I think not only have they made the right decision, I think Harry is doing what his duty as a man and a husband, and is to protect his family and his wife. Yeah. His grandma is not going to be here forever, so he can't live for his grandma. And another thing as well is they actually Queen Elizabeth actually put out a statement saying she has gelled very well into the family. So all these reports of her and Kate are feuding, and how she's broken up the family.
She had to really.
She didn't have to.
I think she saved her face.
The Queen didn't have to say anything.
Yeah, but we all know the Queen.
No. I
honestly
honestly believe that the Queen didn't have to say a word. She didn't have to say we support and Meghan, because she specifically spoke about Meghan. She didn't say my grandson and his wife. Normally, if it was like my grandson and his wife, but she specifically said Meghan.
I understand why she would, because there are
that
a lot of family.
That royal family is booky,
anything
bro.
Anything to deflect from the fact that Prince Andrew is a pedo as well.
You lot saw the way the Queen was pulled up in the range and that, so she stopped, so it looked through. You see, she stopped, and then she pulled up. Nah, 93-year-old, you know, 93.
Queen Lizzie.
93.
Queen Lizzie.
You know what? She's a mechanic. Like, she knows how to. Back in the days.
What? Queen Lizzie.
She can bust gun, you know. She busts his gun as well. Don't watch, man.
You know something else I want to add as well. I really want black people to stop going on morning television to debate racism with people that are going to deny our experiences, pretend it's not happening. The Philip Schofields of the world, like, I don't really care for it.
Every time I go to Piers Morgan, he's like, oh, come on my show,
But
every time.
One thing I want to say.
Dr. Shola, hold tight, Dr. Shola. She's been holding it down.
Yeah,
please.
She's the only one that she's really been at the next one. And Dr. Shola, I think she has enough integrity and she's smart enough to not go on Piers Morgan's platform, because Piers Morgan is not a stupid man. Piers Morgan is probably one of the most intelligent men in Britain. He knows that there is racism.
He was on this morning, Good Morning Britain, but he wasn't there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But she knows. I mean, Piers Morgan knows that there is racism. Piers Morgan, because when he wants to talk about it, I've heard Piers Morgan talk about it, and I've heard him discuss. He was
fine with Kate Hopkins the other day over Stormzy about it. Do you remember?
Yeah. So he knows, but he knows that because for some reason I feel like as a community we're very what's the word? We're very receptive to outrage. So we give into outrage so quickly, and we give them so much money and so much time and energy and clicks and this, that, and the other, that we just can't help ourselves. And I don't know. And I mean, I'm not saying it's our fault, but it's just,
No, it's our fault.
At this point,
I tweeted everything yesterday, the day before yesterday. I was like, listen, at this point, it's time to block Piers Morgan, Kate Hopkins. Who's that one I said? Donald Trump as well, block him, because you're disrupting your own peace. Going to those interviews, if you don't have the strength for that, you're disrupting your own peace. And going back to even your question, it might if people warned Meghan, because she said that her friends warned her that don't go into that because their family is this way, the media is that way, but she doesn't deserve anything that she's gotten so far. And I feel like Diana kind of probably paved the way for her to go through what she's going through, because Diana went through a lot of the same thing as well, like the media. Look how she died. It was the paparazzi, it was the media that killed her. So, and also other. we can get into it, because I'm a big Diana stan. Oh my gosh, I was only one when she passed away, but I've studied her life as if
it's mad, isn't it?
She used to have a whole section in history, but for me, going back to Meghan, because that's the topic we're talking about here. 2020, we're protecting our peace. We're just protecting our peace. Make sure we are prioritizing ourselves, because you can't be there at the cost of what? Your mental health. Like, it's not worth it.
Yeah, your mental health is for the cost of retweets.
And it's that interview of...
No, but it's like for Meghan, it's like the cost of her mental health, the cost of her child, the cost of...
Her interview broke my
It'll have
heart.
a
That
strain
interview
on your
broke my
marriage.
heart.
I was talking about people on social media for attention. That's what.
But have you seen those interviews? The one of Meghan where she was talking about obviously how it's affected her, and the one of Harry, I think it's an old one.
There was one of Harry where he
his mum.
said, "If you knew what I knew, you would do the same thing." And that just confirmed to me that he knows.
You know what is very funny? They always do subliminals. Like they always say certain stuff in code.
Yeah. He
always
said
in code.
that, and it really like. I don't know. It sounds so like I
shook you to the core.
I sound like one artist. Like, you know, your
no, but it's scary
like,
though.
But it really like was like there are stuff that we don't know the extent of how dark and evil.
There are skeletons in that closet. I'm telling you.
There's one that's still living. About to go see that, and you saw that picture of him with his red eyes. Like he's a walking skeleton already. Bye bye.
They keep pumping him with some sort of blood transfusion.
He's not gonna die. He doesn't want him to
die.
die.
Apparently.
The soul has left.
No, but even the Queen, going back to what you said as well about the Queen's addressing Meghan, I feel like she had no choice to, because even like Diana as well, it took a while for her to actually speak out with her speech that she did on TV, the flag as well. The fans were demanding, put the flag up right now, you know. So I feel like, as I said, Diana's changed the way, because if it was based on like 100 years ago or whatever, they would not have to say anything.
120.
You know? 20 years ago, they wouldn't have to say anything. So obviously, I think Diana did pave the way for those to come. Kate Middleton, whatever, please be gone. She bores me. She just bores.
She's only doing that so Harry does not get the throne at any cost.
Apparently he cheated too. Do you know what William said? With separate entities. Go with your receding hairline.
That actually wasn't true, you know.
But I feel like he has not said a word for him. Like, I feel like if he really was going to stick for his brother, he would have said something by now, you know.
But he's going to be king one day. He's keeping
that's true, you know.
He doesn't want to say anything.
It's true.
Receding hairline, cheating ass.
You're
Cheating ass.
I'm asleep.
Can I say something? Has that actually been confirmed, or is that just us running?
No,
he
cheated. He
cheated.
I've seen his hairline. He cheated, man. He cheated. Look at that full hair. His hair was just doing like a diamond.
It was mad, didn't it? The stress was mad. He just went in less than 5 years, just gone. Less than 5 years, just went.
I don't understand. He did that security
it's so big now. He's like everything just looks off with him now.
I know when she's when I see one. No.
But so are we all in agreement that Meghan has made the right choice of doing what she's doing, and she's kind of like an example to all of us that it doesn't matter who you are, where you are in life. If you can leave the Queen and we can leave that toxic relationship, we can leave that toxic job.
I told you before. Listen, no more.
The way she says relationship first thing.
Like.
No, I'm just saying we can leave that toxic friendship.
I like it. I like always about man. Like what? Every time.
Oh, did you do?
No,
I'm just saying, like, it's
Meghan and her husband.
Yes, I love that.
Meghan and her husband.
That's
inject it.
But I think on the topic of racism, because we all know it's racist, we all know, you know, that as much as the British public don't want to admit it, do you feel like, just a quick question before we kind of wrap this up, do you feel like the treatment that Meghan's received and how brazen it's gotten, do you think that racism in this country has become, I don't want to say worse because it's always been bad, but do you believe that it's become a bit more bold-faced? And if you tie that into obviously Conservatives winning the election and just all the stuff that's kind of gone on in politics and you know, royals.
Do you know what is so mad? We're living in an era where we're very politically correct.
Your hands.
The noise in it.
Yeah.
I'll give both of you. I'll off your wig with my one finger.
Can you speak it out time?
I think it's very mad that we're living in a society where we're very politically correct and certain things can't be said. But it's just the fact that
we had
racism has just become.
A person called Meghan's child a monkey.
It's crazy.
I'm sorry, what?
Like, and certain people are allowed to say certain things. Really?
Yeah.
Mad.
BBC, you're trifling.
Mad.
Trifling.
Like our Prime Minister is allowed to call Muslim women letterboxes, and it's okay. But
sorry?
certain other things can't be said.
This messy hair, bye.
And To answer your question, racism hasn't become worse. It's just showing itself a lot more because it's become acceptable to do it.
Even the workplace. Look
Across
at
the
the
board.
video, someone touching somebody's hair. Like it's just become so like accepted. Like, it can't be anymore.
Then
It's
are
too
they
much.
even microaggressions anymore? They ain't micro. They're
It's
just
blatant
aggressions.
racism.
Macro.
They're not- No, you know, macro is even smaller than micro.
Oh, is it?
It's just aggressions across the board. It's nuts.
So what's your thoughts, Shibil? What's your final thoughts on this topic?
It's a madness, isn't it?
Oh.
Quick one. Go on. Done.
Okay. So recently, Lori Harvey celebrated her 23rd birthday in the sunny island of Jamaica. So she went with a whole array of celebs. So from Jordan Woods, Ryan Destiny, Normani,
Get together,
Future. There was G Herbo and his what's G Herbo's girl's name?
Isn't it Ari?
Ari. No,
Oh,
not
they
Ari.
finished.
No,
Oh,
they
no,
broke
Qatar.
up.
Ari broke up.
Broke
No,
up. They broke
Qatar
up.
already. Oh, okay.
Another one. Got another
the,
thing.
the
now.
other one, the one that's fabulous.
The other
daughter.
half
Is it?
Yeah.
Shit, I don't even know.
Well, stepdaughter. But yeah, so she was with a bunch of people. They looked like they had an amazing time. She finally became public with Future. I don't even want to talk about that because we have given them too much time in Future. You're nasty. But I think one thing that happened, so they posted, Jordan Woods, Lori Harvey, Ryan Destiny, Normani posted a beautiful picture of themselves on holiday. So, I mean, obviously we'll insert the picture here and you guys judge for yourselves. So there was kind of a lot of social media discussion. You know, naturally what people do, they kind of rank women who looks better and da-da-da-da-da. And Normani came last. People went as far, you know, to crop out her from the picture of the three of them.
That's not right. It's just...
Don't laugh, guys.
It's a serious matter.
But
My heart is raging.
But this-
My heart, you see my face is so straight.
But the question I want to bring to you, so
Oh.
a lot of people said people are doing it because of colorism, blah, 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 blah. But people then pointed out, but Ryan Destiny and Normani are the same colour. If not, Ryan Destiny is actually a bit darker. So people then said that it was featureism.
Yeah,
Now-
I need to get together.
See, we can't discuss anything with black men.
Futurism is a thing, though, guys.
No, I have to go
It's
first, you know.
Wait,
I have to
wait.
go first.
So before,
Not in this circumstance, but it is a
yeah,
thing.
so
Come on,
but
let's be
so
serious.
just for those of you that don't know about featureism, it means that you can be dark skinned, but if you have Eurocentric features, so such as a small nose,
can we stop?
small mouth, like, you know, certain features, it's acceptable. I know, Manny, you wanted to go, but just kick us off on your thoughts on the whole Normani saga and featureism, and is it a thing, and was it applicable to this particular scenario?
Okay, so right off the bat, I would say I wouldn't go as far as say it was colorism, but I think it was just people being a little bit insensitive, because especially the cropping out part and how they captioned the tweet. Because there were some that said, "Oh, because that's their preference and that's fine." But when they're saying, "Oh, I'm taking off the dead weight," I'm like, sir, you know, it's your mother. That's his dead weight. Your dad is a dead beat, and your mom is a dead weight. So where do we go from here? You know, so it's like it's just stuff like how things are said and done. Yeah, but Normani's a bad bitch. Don't get it twisted. Like, I'm gonna break you off. Let me be your motivation. Hey, copyright. Come on, let's go.
Hadley, go
So
on.
much trash, by the way. Sorry.
It's catchy, but I get what you mean. Continue.
I think we are in danger on Twitter of basically trivializing meaningful conversations that need to be had at a certain point with trivial issues, and I think this was a perfect example of that. And also, I don't really like when people talk about black people having Eurocentric features.
It doesn't exist, because I used to be in that mind frame of Eurocentric features, and then I kind of looked at it and studied it a bit more, and was like, actually, when you look at East Africans, they look a whole different way to it. But I think we're so used to looking at West African looking black people, should I say?
And what our parents
So
say as well.
the big noses, the big lips, but then it's like, but East Africans look a whole completely different way, and they're black. North Africans look one way. South Africans, you know, look another way. Caribbean people look one way. So, am I right? Is that a word?
Yeah.
Sorry, people. No, sorry.
No, she's right. Just say West Indian.
West
It's good to
Indian.
have
No,
that
sorry, I'm just so
foundation.
used
You
to
should say West Indian.
Okay,
You should
West
do
Indian.
that. 'Cause
I
Caribbean,
didn't mean to
it's-
offend my West Indian demographic that are watching, please. I didn't know.
No, we're all learning something.
But yeah, learning curve. But but yeah, no, it's true what you're saying. Like, we need to stop being so, I guess, again, trigger happy and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
You
like
know
we're
what?
waiting for something
It's
to.
just-
Because as a black woman, I ride for black women. You guys can attest to this. Like, I'm always, you know, capping for this, but. She didn't look good in the picture. What's
This
your...
boy's shady as
No,
hell.
you're right.
Oh, but
Anyone that follows you knows the story.
no, it's true. Like, when it comes to topics of black women, dark-skinned women, like, I know I'm not dark-skinned, but I still, you know, can appreciate the struggles that they go through. it's just like, it's a very valid discussion. However, in this instance, she just didn't look good. It just wasn't her angle. She should have turned to the other side.
It wasn't. The thing is,
She was
the
born
whole
to stand
photo.
out, you know? Sometimes when one's going here, she's going there. Even the full picture as well. She was like this.
No, that was
Once it goes like
Yeah.
this.
Angles, the angles.
No, somebody said something.
What are you doing?
Somebody
Maybe she
said
doesn't have to take
something.
pictures.
Somebody said something about how. No,
In that
wait.
in the group.
Wait,
Your
go on.
group.
She was in a girl group. What do you mean?
No,
Yeah,
that's
she
what I
doesn't
said. Somebody
take
said something about how she was always left out in the groups. Maybe in her head, she's now been triggered to stand out. So I just say, oh, pose like this. She's like, you know. So because of what she went through in Fifth Harmony, I also said what they were doing about the whole cropping out thing. I feel like if she was to see it, it would probably remind her of that video, that fan that went past her to go to Camilla. You know, so I just feel like this be a little bit more thoughtful, but I don't think it was as bad as colorism.
I think back to because obviously we've established it's not colorism, futurism. So back to that topic, like obviously Hadley, you mentioned we're in a stage, especially with social media, we're so close to trivializing serious issues because we are so used to saying, oh my god, it's this, it's that. When sometimes it is just what it is. Like I don't know, she will like as a man that likes women of a particular no, but I mean no, not like that. Wait, let me take that back. As a man that appreciates beauty, I bet, like, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like, Shabil, you like beautiful women, as we all know. In that, you did. Is that not a compliment?
You're a woman out of 2 out of 10, apparently.
Why are you so uptight?
I would recommend.
But no, like, because I just,
Okay, go say it. Go say what you said.
I just want to ask, obviously, like, Shabil, like, as a black man, when people are saying stuff like, black men only like black women who look like this, X, Y, and Z, or black men only like women who have this features or don't have big noses, or do you agree to that? That's
certain man, every man has a different type that they like in it.
But certain is it type or is it preference or is it actually?
Some man like fat asses, some man don't mind fat asses, some man like cheeks, some man don't like cheeks, innit? But I like cheeks.
You know what?
Do you know what?
God is watching us.
Can I give us?
Go on, wrap us up.
If I'm honest, listen, it's making them look in when they've accepted it, and I think it's important for us to have these discussions for the fact that women feel comfortable enough to say these things online and start a discussion. I respect it. Yeah. And also, when you look into these things, you'll realize that just because you've accepted it, you know, you are probably, some of them are victim of these things too. Oh yeah. But it's just because, I don't know, you don't want to face up to it, or you kind of are perpetuating it too at the same time. So it's making you look into yourself that you don't like it. So fix up. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Thank you. Recently, Stormzy has been doing his US press run for his album Heavy as the Head. And I think he's had interviews with Hot 97. I think, was it Ebro? Good morning. What's his show?
Hot 97, Ebro in the morning.
Ebro in the morning, yeah. And he also had a really good in-depth interview with Charlemagne. And I think we were having a discussion where it's like, why is it that these in-depth interviews, which answer the question that we want to know, gives us an insight into the person, into their life, into their journey, only happen on American platforms? It doesn't really seem to happen on UK platforms. When an artist goes into big major UK platforms, it tends to be very gimmicky, or it tends to be very comedic, or it tends to be, oh my god, what's your favorite ice cream flavor, or you know what I'm saying, like there's nothing in depth, and then people are scared to ask the questions that we want to hear, or are scared to go in depth, or just simply don't have the range to do it in the first place. So I mean, how do you kick us off? I know it's your bag, so
it's just like, I don't know, I think everyone's probably like mainstream platform wise scared of what Ofcom is going to say. It's all people are scared they're going to get blacklisted. Certain artists won't come through to one extra. Little thing deal will fall through. Yeah, and it's like, come on, man. Like, I know as much as we complain about how American interviewers don't do enough research and this and that. Talking about Stormzy specifically, I thought the Charlemagne interview was good.
Because he really did his research.
He did.
For someone that is not well versed in UK music.
Yeah, like culture. That. And I think with Ebro, if anyone that watches him knows he can be a bit annoying sometimes, and he lacks research and likes to speak about gossip and that. But to me, he had like a well-rounded knowledge of grime in general. He's not going to be an expert, one. And two, he asked, why was he the first one to ask Stormzy about Jordan Smith and Maya Jama? Like, why did no one in the UK have chest to ask him that?
Because I bet everyone's scared, because everyone wants to be everyone's favourite. Everyone wants to be that person that, oh my god, it's the artist's favourite. And everyone is scared to be the villain. So, I mean, I will always stand by this argument. This is why I respect and love Zizi Mills so much.
100.
Because she is not afraid to be hated by everyone, because she will just ask the questions that want to be asked. And as much as people chat shit, we were all thinking it. Like she asks the questions that we want to
know.
hear and we want to talk about, and people, as much as people say, oh, she just chats shit and she's gossipy, when you actually look at some of the interviews, they do actually go quite in depth sometimes. They do touch on topics, mental health, relationships, and this, that, and the other and stuff. But I think with the problem as to why maybe people don't do that as well is because when there is someone that does it, I think one, because she's a woman and she's black, that's why people don't like it. But two, we are not, our gossip, I guess, pages and those media outlets only pick up on negative or stupid things. They never seem to pick up on the important aspects of the interview. So when Charlamagne's having an interview, forget Stormzy, when Charlamagne's having an interview with someone else, or when Hot 97's having an interview with someone else, or whatever, their pages, like social media pages, do always pick it up, and you always see it and be like, oh, so and so spoke about this, and they actually care about it. I feel like we in the UK don't really care about artists enough.
I don't think they give us enough credit. I think they do, and I think the reason why people are kind of running, the reason why radio effectively or traditional broadcasting platforms are dying is because there's not enough authenticity with it. Like with TV, I'll give them the props to say that they are getting a bit more creative with their ideas and diversity and whatnot. But with radio, podcasting is just going to continue to fly through the roof because we want the real.
And that's why podcasting is because when we were having this conversation like off camera, we were saying like mainstream radio stations. I was thinking, I'm not gonna lie to you, when I think of interviews and stuff, I don't think of BBC and Capital Extra. I think of like other podcasters and other YouTubers. But like Shabil, for example, do you think like proximity has a part to play because people are so close and people are so like?
Let's just say, like in the UK, everyone's like close to each other. Like it's everyone knows in the industry, rappers, whatever. They all know each other. They all go to the same events. Yeah. So if someone says something bad about one person in an interview, saying this and that,
you can buck them this
that's
weekend.
it. Yeah. It's done. Like man, them are riding up to your. I'm saying it's long, so that's why people pay the safe way with just saying, it's just doing jokes with them, or they're not gonna say deep stuff. Because I think everyone's got fear. Everyone's scared. They don't want to be going UK Gossip TV. This happened. I said this online, and then this happened. I'm on UK Gossip TV. Yeah. So it's I don't know how I don't know how the UK is gonna get away from that. But yeah.
But my thing is like it's not, because obviously we're looking at the negative aspects of like the gossip side of things. But forget that. We as a I don't see many platforms that want to really talk about, for example, Stormzy's so open with his mental health. Maybe I'm wrong. If you guys have any examples, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've not seen a UK platform really go in depth and ask him those questions. It's very like, oh, you spoke about this, and then they kind of brush past it. But to have like an in-depth, honest, open dialogue, UK platforms, and I don't think it's because we're scared or anything. I think a lot of platforms and a lot of people that are pushed into the spotlight don't have the range. I think a lot of people on these big platforms and, on the spotlight are there because they look good or are there because they know the right person. But they don't particularly...
It's not just that though. You have to remember that with the raid, like I said, they are being held back by certain things they can and can't speak about. And they're scared of obviously not being able to get access to certain artists. Like back in the day, especially, if a one extra person on air said something about your music that you didn't like, the person will just not go to Radio 1. And then it's like, oh my God, then they won't come to the festivals, they won't do this. Do you know what I'm saying? But now, I think in order for you guys to save yourselves, like Capital Extra do this thing where it's like a classical guy, or the white guy, and they read out their lyrics, and it's like, okay, it's fun.
It was funny at first, but
we need balance. Like I just think, come on, we need seriousness.
It's boring now.
I've got two questions. The first one is like, can we even list like 10 people, especially in our community, that are doing what Ebro and Charlamagne are doing? That's the first thing. And then the second thing is like, I feel like I don't feel that they're aiming high enough. They're just trying to interview their friends. Like, we don't know who your friends are. Like, step out of it. Let's try and shoot your shot. Like, go to the management and say, oh, can I interview Stormzy? Can I interview Heady One? They're not hard to reach. They're in the same country. I know he's not going to snap a finger, but it's aim higher. Like, try and do more.
Oi, the fact that J Hart is considering going to ZZ Most
that would be
a big thing.
Say, like,
that's a big thing. Those are the kind of platforms that we need to rise up through and get on the top. Seriously.
No,
the fact that he did that, it just shows, you know what I'm saying? Imagine the conversation you get between them two. That's what I want. I want to see more of that.
I can't imagine, no disrespect, I can't imagine J Hart going on A.Dot's radio station and having
I can see it, but it would be funny stuff.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a serious...
Like when D-Block and her were talking about burgers on there, like it was but...
That was nothing in depth. Because D-Block, as much as like people don't take them seriously, they have a lot of stuff that you can really tap into in conversation-wise, and nobody is doing that. But I guess just to wrap it up, a question I have to put out to you guys, do you think that it's not just the journalist and the broadcaster's fault. It's maybe the artists are too sensitive.
Because say F your mother, F your father.
Very.
Sometimes it's constructive criticism.
Very
Like, just
sensitive.
take time. Like, allow people to do their job. The job
Thing
is
is,
to see, like, when
they could come on the interview and then us will be like, I can't be. Don't put that on. Like,
People
Yeah.
fan girl too
You know what
much.
I'm
Give them a
saying? Yeah, it's long.
I
Yeah.
think they need to start just saying no. Like
Yeah.
Breakfast Club is like when you come to us, there's none of that. We
Yeah.
ask whatever you want.
Look at Wendy, for
Another point
example.
actually
Yeah.
as well. Big up Semtex because his Spotify podcast is very good.
Yeah. Sometimes
When rappers go on there, they talk about like
from early.
quality stuff.
That's
Like
good.
that's an example of a well-researched
So we need more of that.
podcasting platform that's doing
It's really
well.
good,
I think a lot of them that do the real are the ones that are under the mainstream. So it's like when certain people go on Chucky's platform, they have a real conversation.
Yeah.
Like when they go on Not For The Radio, they'll have a good conversation. Like we just need more of them to, or we can just support those platforms and
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just come to the reload.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
I know, honestly, me.
That's
Come to the
because
reload.
I'm not scared of no one coming to the studio.
Literally.
To be honest, yeah.
Listen,
Said it with chest.
2020. If you want an honest conversation, we are here. Our doors are open. Come through, like we are ready. But yeah. Thank you guys for joining us for yet another episode of The Reload. Again, a big thank you to the classic Manny
you for having
joining
me,
us
Sharon.
yet
It was
again.
fun.
It's
fun.
always a good time when you're here. But guys, if you why are you laughing?
Oh, you heard me?
I heard you. I was looking at
But
the camera.
guys, if you guys enjoyed, please share, subscribe, like, comment at us. The Reload UK on all
Share
platforms,
everywhere.
Instagram and Twitter. Your socials again.
The classic Manny everywhere. Brandon
101.
101.
But yeah, honestly, thank you guys again for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe.